Hi everyone, this is Mel White from Classic Exhibits, and I hope you're staying safe and sane. Today's presentation, today's webinar is on giveaways, keys, promotional products, and I'm delighted to have two presenters today, Cindi Cody from Xzibits and Leanne Roberts from Wanderlust Marketing. The great thing about these two is that they're not only experts within that particular field as far as promotional product marketing, but they're also passionate about that category as well. So I'm going to kind of condense my normal introduction because I know they're both really, really anxious to get started. As with all these webinars, you'll notice that there is a questionnaire panel. If you'll enter your questions during the course of the webinar, if we can, we'll try to get to them in the webinar itself. But what we'll do is we'll certainly answer all the questions by the end of the webinar when Cindi and Leanne are done. All right, Cindi and Leanne, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can get started.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you, Mel. Also, thank you to Classic Exhibits for the opportunity. We really appreciate it. And good afternoon to everyone. And I believe some are still in the morning, so good morning to you as well. We appreciate you taking the time to join us, and hopefully we can show you some cool things and some things that you can actually share with your clients and capitalize on and all the good stuff. So again, thanks again, and I'll get started here. I think this kind of sums it all up as to what obviously everybody and everything in this world is feeling. I saw this the other day, and I thought I have to put this into my presentation. Top 10, just to give us an idea where we are with the COVID. You see this, I know this was posted elsewhere as well. What our top 10 ESP searches were last year in April of 2019 compared to where they are today. Obviously, there's been a huge change. Most everything on the left side for 2020 is actually nothing that we were selling in 2019. We weren't, I don't even think they were in our magazines, our publications or anything. So this just kind of gives you an idea how the world has pivoted, and we have to pivot with them. Go to the next one. COVID is what why we kind of wanted to have a conversation about this, is how can we pivot into COVID or pivot out of it and try to fight with it, or just to try to get it to our clients. How long is COVID on surfaces? I'm sure everybody has seen this before. My concern was cardboard, just because I know that in this industry, as well as exhibit industry, we're all dealing with cardboard. But I just wanted to throw this in here. I know it's been passed around several times. How many COVID emails have you received? Probably hundreds. And how can I quickly supply my clients with something they need? It's time to start pivoting your business. And we've had some luck with this by reaching out to our clients and trying to provide them with things that they're not used to needing, and things that they can share with their clients that has to do with all of the COVID. Everybody's, worried about germs and stuff. This will be everywhere. Yes, it is still a need, but it's going to be everywhere, and other things are going to come in and replace it, possibly. There's some soap type stuff that you'll see here in a minute, but it's saturated right now, but right now it's hard to get as well. It's 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks from across the country to get this stuff in. But there are other ways to act upon it and share with your clients. We're all germophobias now. I know I am. Here's one of the first things that came out. Again, most of these, just to back up a little bit, this industry, most of these vendors, suppliers, had to take a huge pivot, and we're not doing any of these types of things. And in less than a month and a half, they came out with all kinds of new products that is COVID, that will work in COVID, and that is getting, you know, all the different signage out there and all the different tools that for the germophobias and to keep us safe and everything else. So they did a good job of doing it and did it really fast. But this right here is a cool tool. You pull a door, push an elevator, sign when you're doing your card, PIN number, put it on your keychain, and be germ free. Leanne, I might let you jump in on this.
I think Cindi made a really good point when she was talking about the industry as a whole and the items that the ad specialty industry is providing. Looking at, you know, a year ago, what we were providing and what the vendors were marketing to us. And now, out of need, that we've had to change the way we address our clients and what their needs are. And I think this is a good example of an industry that's turned very quickly, and one that us as suppliers or distributors have to do the same. And so I know I work a lot in medical, so these items have been, you know, a need right from the start, because they were, the stocks were deplenished, and now just the general commercial clients are integrating the things that medical offices were putting into their system. They're using them as just a main item. So the face shields are one. Cindi, I don't see this much more out of medical, except for maybe services like salons and things like that. Do you see it?
No.
Yeah. And the different types of gloves. Hand sanitizers, Cindi also stated that these things are back ordered for a long time. If you want to provide these to your clients, you really need to work with your suppliers or your resources. I've placed orders right now for fall for things that are not even coming in until July or August. And so we're projecting out to the end of the year of what the needs are going to be, and helping our clients plan for, you know, for theirs, for their workplace. And these are little hand sanitizer sheets that Cindi found that are really kind of cool because they're single use. Everybody has a different application, and one of the cool things about some of these things is you're able to put them in a little envelope and ship them directly to your client as just a little reminder. We can't get face to face with our clients right now, but we can offer things that they're using right now to remind them of us and get us in front of them. We need to teach our clients as well how to get in front of their clients. So they're going to look at us as an example of how to reach clients. So, but this is something that started with medical, and you know, every client's using them now on some level. You can go on to the next one.
Yeah, I've got here.
So some of these on the masks and things like that, clients that were maybe producing bags or flags or something now are getting into the mass market and are providing some that are really efficient, and some that really you do not want to share with your clients. I would definitely say to order samples of things, but they're before you sell them, but they're also providing, like you see this mask buddy, things that support the mask for people who are having to wear them for long periods of time. And if you have done this yet, it is extremely uncomfortable. So they're trying to find creative ways to wear these where they're more user friendly. And the bandana down here at the bottom, I know Cindi and I both have had clients that have stocked these for years and for sporting events and stuff. So if you're providing these for clients, they're multifunctional as well, whether it's a sporting event or cooling rags or things like that. People like to use them, but now they're using them as a mask to pull up.
Yeah, and a lot of our clients are doing mailers to their clients just with these, because you actually get a printed card that it wraps around, and you can have a message and your logo, and of course it also has this diagram to show everyone how it works. but it was just an alternative to mask. And it's, you know, just letting them know that, hey, we're still here. We care about you. We're here to do, you know, for you for anything you need. And we hope that you're staying safe. And it's just a nice little thing, and it's an easy mailer.
Yeah, it delivers a great message from you.
Yes, absolutely. The other part of COVID is signage. You know, a lot of the regulations when companies were opening back up, there were regulations that you had to have so many, or you had to have signage in the bathrooms, and you had to have signage where it was going to be almost less than 6 feet where everyone stood. So a lot of exhibit industry companies also do these things, but you know, floor decals, like I go to Publix and they have their little thing about 6 feet, but they're using red masking tape and an X. And I'm thinking, you're Publix, you should really utilize this to state a message, or, you know, just to get your name out there, just to keep it out. So I learned that if you actually want to try to get into some of these, first thing I thought was go to headquarters or anything like that, but they say now go to the store managers, because they are given budget to handle these things. So that's another opportunity to get your foot in the door and capitalize on it. The other one is going back to the mask. If you've noticed, I know here in Georgia that the restaurants have opened with a limited amount of people, but the workers, the people who work for the restaurant, they all have to wear their mask. Why not try to get into these restaurants, and especially the chains, and sell masks that are branded, as opposed to the blue, you know, the little small ones. Why not do that, as well as do their signage? So that's why I kind of threw this in, because I realized a lot of people were coming to us asking, can you do this? We need to put this up, so on and so forth.
And it's become an OSHA requirement, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, yes. So hand sanitizing stations falls right into this. And this is from our good friends, Classic Xzibits. I don't have the one in there I wanted. So yes, branded sanitizing stations is very popular. It's very needed. And I mean, I think everyone should have, we have one in our office. I think everyone should have it. But the thing about this is no touch. You can brand it, top sign, side sign, and you see the hygienic stainless steel metal. But this is from Classic, and I wanted to throw some of those in there. They have some products that fit. So I was going to play a game with you guys, just to have fun. I have 3 or 4 of these slides in here, and I'm going to ask you if you know what it is, and everybody has 5 seconds to answer, and just send it to mail. First person that gets it right, I will send you a little swag from Xzibits. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a multi-utensil. It's reusable. It's biodegradable. It's perfect for carrying around tents, camping and kids' baseball games and all. But the most important thing is a lot of people are using their own utensils these days. Just again, going back to the germophobic stuff, they're using reusable tools, utensils, and other ones that go in bags, and also that's what this is. And as we all know, the world is changing. A lot of people are working from home. So I'm merging into this now, getting away a little bit from COVID. This, to me, I still say can be part of COVID, just because of the reason we're all working from home is because of COVID. But these are some essentials now that everyone has kind of changed in their daily lives, whether it's like the working from home with kids, and all those kind of things. So these are just some ideas for you to consider, to talk to your clients about. Say, hey, how many people do you have working from home? Or what about your clients? Do you guys want to send a mailer out to your clients, to all the people working from home? So basically, phone chargers are the top right now. Phone holders to the left. This is actually they call it a fly flap, and it's actually made, it was made to hook over the seat in front of you on the airplane, so that you can sit your phone there and watch your movies or do whatever you want to do. But in today's circumstances, they pivoted to this. All the little different items down here. This is a hand sanitizer, a tube that also holds a cleaning rag, fiber rag, and it mounts to your phone. So you can carry it around with you everywhere you go, which I thought was kind of clever. Mouse pads, chargers, phone chargers, privacy, and this is a custom cell phone holder. You can make it out of anything. We could do it out of our X. I've seen it with animal shapes and everything, and they're just like PVC type material. They fold down, and they're great to just travel with as well. A couple of more. Here's your privacy to the right. We all are doing Zoom, and we're doing all types of webinars, and that's one of the first things that I do is make sure that my camera is covered up. But these are nice because they're metal and they swivel, so it's not peeling it off or anything like that. We did these a while back. Chargers while you're at home working in the charger. Wireless headphones. You're sitting there again doing webinars and everything. This is a nice gift to a thank you gift, or thinking of you gift, or hope everything is going well with your family. Hope you guys are safe. These are this is one of my favorites. It's just a very small piece that allows you to brand in something that someone would sit on their desk or their home office, and just organize your cords, which is brilliant to me. It's one of my favorites. And Leanne, you can jump in. I know some of these. Families are spending more time together. That's true. That's a great thing. This was startling to me, and it was one of the first slides that I pulled for this project. Puzzle sales increased 370% in 2 weeks in April alone. That's crazy. I mean, that's just crazy. But so the corporate America started jumping on this, and then they started sending these out to all their corporate customers, and it became a big hit. I think there's a big thing on it with on Instagram. But families are sitting together, so this is perfect to do. It doesn't have to be as elaborate or anything, but puzzles are a great way for them to remember you and thank you, and think about you while they're doing it with their kids. More, as they call it, entertainment essentials. Little games. I know that a lot of families are playing games and outdoor stuff, and which I have down here. Outdoor activities, picnics. I see people in the parks all the time because you can get to the 6 foot distance. Coolers are always good for anything, but I see everybody out with their coolers. And then the blankets, and this could be hiking or picnicking or anything like that. So Leanne and I had just returned from the biggest promotional product show of the year, typically, back in January, February. And we both go every year, and our objective is to find out what's new, and so that we can come back and share with our clients. And we usually go and do presentations and show them samples and all that kind of good stuff. Well, this never happened. Although I know right now our focus is on COVID, and our focus is on either our coworkers, our family members, our customers, any vendors. We all are, that's a lot more important to be worried about. But at the same time, I think it's great for you guys to see some new stuff while we're talking about this. Some of the stuff can pivot into COVID. It's like they really do cross each other. Leanne, did you want to say something about this one?
No, I think you're covering this very well, and you're all into the
okay.
The
bamboo. I just didn't want to steal the way. So bamboo was huge at the show. I mean, you saw bamboo pins, bamboo utensils, everything. It's a big rave, and it's recyclable.
Scroll down to the next one so you can see them all together, and then you can come back to the koozie. Yeah, where you start seeing the reusable, everything that's eco-friendly. There was a huge message at this show showing all types of items that are, recycled goods and things like that. And I think that was the biggest message we saw. It wasn't techie, it wasn't anything. It was really about these type of items, don't you think, Cindi?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Same the environment.
Yeah.
And they're really nice items. But this is wheat straw. Wheat straw was, I would have to say, by far at least second of popularity at the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of it. Cups, small cups. I love all the utensils, the straws. This is a great little thing for sending out to clients. But going back up here, yes, reusable straws are huge. I could fill a whole presentation up on all of the different types of reusable straws. You have the silicone, and you see that comes with cleaners. You have what they call the paper, that is, some are not reusable, some are.
But this is silicone. Aren't they?
Yeah, silicone that goes down into, it has its own case, which I really like, and then you can put it on your keychain and have it at all times. Metal ones are the same. This one comes apart and goes in its own little case. These are the metal, and they do not collapse down, but they go into the bag. But this, to me, was genius. I got this at the show. It's a lanyard. They were the sponsor for lanyards, and they put a reusable straw on every lanyard. Then it has the wheat case, and it's a reusable straw. I thought that was great. Those are really cool. So going back up, everybody knows the pop socket. It's was the point where I just couldn't handle it anymore about the pop sockets. Well, this was at the show. Now they have pop sockets on koozies. It's what we need, but it is popular. It was a hot item. I guess it is convenient for a lot, but it definitely was a rave at the show. Blue light glasses. Leanne, those were everywhere.
Yeah, and actually you're the one that introduced me to those because I missed it. So
yeah, those were everywhere. I love them. They're not, you have to get special ones, like if these are not prescription. But what this does is it reduces the white light from your computer and keeps them from getting harmed. Now, the other thing that I wasn't sure of, and that I've learned, is that, like I said, they don't come in prescription. So I think I've talked to one of the vendors, and I think they're actually going to start doing that on the, the ones 1.5 and 2s and all that. So anyway, just in speaking to anyone about this, I always have to let them know that if you wear glasses, then this is not, it's going to help with the blue light, but it's not going to help you see. This just came out, it's brand new, in response to COVID, is the UV sanitizing technology. So basically it cleans your phone. We all know that our phones are the dirtiest of most anything. But these are, you can brand them on the top, brand them on the side. And here's another type. It's a more portable one. You put your keys in it, your phone, but that right now is a in-demand product.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're at the next product. Can you name this product? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody got their. So basically, it's just a reusable plastic bowl by W&P, and a great gift, great for those who work at the office, usually take their lunches. I know a lot of some of our corporate America type healthcare technologies clients handed some of these things out. And then of course the utensil set. I love that. It's easy to carry around, and all of this of course is reusable. But that was part of hot products at the trade show, ASI show. Reusable bags. Now more than ever.
Probably one of my favorite items.
Yeah, it is. It's a big thing right now. It already did it was already doing its purpose by being recycled, but now it's helping out with keeping people feeling safe about their groceries. Mel was just telling me the other day in Oregon that you get a plastic bag. I think if I'm getting this right, Mel, you get a plastic bag, you have to put your own stuff in it. And it's something about if you don't, then you have to pay $1 for it. But if you can't, you have to put it in yourself. They will not put it in.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that interesting. So all the more reason why I like to have my own reusable bag, so that I'm the one that's touching it. And no, thank you. I'm not, I'll put my own groceries in my bag.
And another thing, Cindy, on these is that as far as these bags, you think they're just for groceries, but in showing these to clients, people like them as gym bags. Mm-hmm. They like them for their kids' stuff. So it really is kind of multifunctional, even though they were first introduced as the grocery bag. People are using them for all different kinds of things.
True. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the next question, or name this. Take a look at it. You might figure it out. I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay. Anybody eat chicken fingers and on the go in your car? The sauce now has its own little tray. So you can drive around and dip your chicken nuggets in the dip, as opposed to trying to hold it and drive and eat this and everything else. This item right here was the biggest item on the trade show floor at the PPAI show. The most popular item and hot. They were towards, everybody knows about trade shows, they were towards the end if you go by number. And it's a large show. There were people walking around with these things and just raving about it. And you hear people talking about, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Well, I'm one who goes up and down the aisles. I went all the way to the back to get it because I didn't want to miss out on this. And I guarantee there was probably 50 people waiting in line to get one of these. Now, we all may think that there's some ideas that are dumb. but sometimes there is a genius somewhere in it, and not everybody is attracted to the same stuff. So when you think something is just stupid and ridiculous, and that promotional parts has gone overboard, don't think that, because there will be somebody out there who thinks it's cool. Hence why it was the biggest thing that came out of the show. So anybody who ever guessed that, I will send you one. Mel, please keep up with that. Drinkware, it's everywhere. It was hard to even like condense it down. So I thought the best thing to do is kind of show some collages. Water bottles are everywhere. They're popular. Of course, Yeti is popular. In the beginning, they were not part of the industry, and you couldn't find anybody to imprint them, but they are part of it now. Cork Cycle, another big one that's out in there. The silicone cups, Silly Pint, I'm sure everybody's heard of them. Those have been a big hit along with their straws. Those are great for, we did it for, I guess it was some golf tournaments, and playing in golf tournaments, and then exhibiting at golf tournaments, and it was just a big hit. Then you have all your camper cups and coffee mugs. You have the Corksicle with the frozen ice for toddy beverages, and just all kinds. Let's see, I think that was the only one I have. But yeah, and again, drinkware is always at the top of the list. Not during a time like this, but they're usually at the top of the list of what people buy. Drinkware is usually within the top 5 or the top 10. My favorite, retro is back, believe it or not, and I love it because I love all of that stuff. That was something else at the show that I was surprised to see, was all the different little things that were coming back from my lifetime. But now they're imprinting them. So you have a wireless speaker up here. This over here is actually your old cassette tape, and it does come in a little plastic container, but that's external power as a power drive, power bank. Vinyl now has come back around, and this one particular company, a lot of their products all of them are made out of the vinyl, and they have journal books that do that. They have coasters. These are luggage tags. There's just so many things that they've come out with, and it's really cool. It's called Record Mix. You should check them out. And of course, lunch boxes. Lunch boxes are back. You can fill it with mugs, or you can fill it with just like golf knees. If you want to give one away for a golf tournament, then you could put a bunch of tees in there and balls, towel, and all of that kind of stuff. There's many things that you can do with that. So this is a big thing now as well. Remember these? Well, who has theirs? I do. That literally is mine in my living room. And I loved it, but they are in now, and it's actually a great marketing tool. We had a client who did some, and it handed them out at trade shows, and they said it was just a huge hit. It could be the message, even a new product that you're bringing out. It could be some other type of a message, you know, anything. I mean, even if you're going to be doing something that's has to do with your employees. There's so many things that you can do with it, but I just thought it was cool, and I was really excited to see that it was back out. And you can brand it. It's just not showing you there. So through all of this, basically, we just we need to show just to pivot through all of everything we've been through, COVID, and trying to get back into the norm, which is not going to be for a while. But in the meantime, show your clients hope, stand out, stay engaged, be specific in your messaging. Just know that promotional products are not just for events and shows. They are everywhere Sure, if you go to a restaurant or somewhere or a doctor's office, you're going to see something that is messaged. So it's just time to pivot your business. That's what we have been working on, is pivoting the business and trying to figure out how we can help our clients in a time where they're not going to shows. They have nothing to do. They have a booth sitting in the back, branded with new graphics, and it's not going anywhere. What they are doing, though, is they are reaching out to us, asking us to send out care packages of their giveaways, since they're not being used, and sending them out to their clients. And again, just saying, hey, we're here for you. We're here. We're still here. What can we do? So they're utilizing some of that, the budget that they spent, and turned it into something like that. So just, be specific in your messaging, and just remember that promotional products are not just for events and shows. And a lot of people think that that's really where it is, but it's not. Like I said, look around, you'll see a promo product everywhere you go. In thinking of show your clients hope and all that, these are great little gifts that could be considered something good to send out to a client, whether it's your clients or your client's clients. Whether it's, there are people that have also been sending stuff out to their vendors, because their vendors have been working, all night and doing this and this on different products. So just a good way to thank someone. Leanne, you're good at this, and this is another thing, creative market messaging.
Well, I mean, I come from a background of marketing, kind of a little bit different. I'm not just an exhibit distributor. And I think as part of the marketing process for our clients, they look at us to be extremely creative, and we're having a hard time getting in front of them. And so we need to show them, I think the industry is going to change. People are going to fall off, and it's going to be even more competitive. But to show them how creative you can be, reaching out to them and showing them how edgy you can be and connected and doing some really unique things. I'm not quite sure as far as like the soaps and things like that, just trying to find things that catch their attention, not only to existing clients now, but also potential clients. And also they use us as an example of how they want to market to themselves. It gives them ideas of how they can market. So I think just finding really unique items really kind of helps set you apart. And of course, in this industry, and Cindi will tell you, you can put a name on just about anything. So get as creative as you want to get.
Very
or
true.
You dare to be. That's the fun part of it all.
Indeed. These were just little things just to get across the message, but I thought it also would be things nice to give clients as well during this time. But back to the natural state of business. Just get back to the natural state as much as we can, and don't become extinct. Now, threw this in here just so you guys could take a look at it later or whenever, but this gives you an idea of which product makes the biggest impression or doesn't make the biggest impression. Just between, apparel and bags and drinkware, USBs, umbrellas, pens, all that kind of stuff. You see that the highest hitting one is apparel. And so that's another avenue to get in, which would take another whole webinar kind of go through. So, but I just wanted to point that out, that is pretty big. So what can we do now? What can we do next? Well, clearly not trade shows. But there are other avenues to make money. We don't want to say to make money, but to get business and to help our clients, our vendors, the local community, and all that, because we're all in this together. I hope we gave you some good ideas to do that. And just know that you can reach out to me if you're interested in learning more about the ASI and the PPAI industries. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. It's always been a passion of mine since I was a kid. I loved trinkets, trash. I still have a lot of things that my dad used to get a Delta that I kept of all of his little giveaways. So it's a passion for me, and it's a fun part of my job. So again, thank you so much for attending and taking the time. I hope you did get something valuable out of here, and stay safe.
Hey, Cindi and Leanne, we do have some questions, so if you have some time to answer the questions, let me pass those along. Before I dive into that, I want to say, as we were going through the presentation, it felt a little bit like Christmas morning when you get a chance to open your stocking and you see all the new stuff you hadn't really anticipated. It was fun going slide by slide and seeing all of those really creative promotional products. All right, so here's a couple questions. Nicole is asking that I think there was one on the drinkware photo there. She had a question: is what line is that tie dye? You must have had an item, tie dye item in the drinkware photo.
That is the Silly Pint, SILIPINT.
All right. A couple people asked about margins. They say, is there room for margins for us? And these are classic distributors. Is there room for margins for us as resellers on these products if we work through obviously either Cindi or Leanne?
Yes. How we work with companies like you guys is because sometimes they don't really want to get into the business. They think it's just too much. They don't have the staff or the sales or anything like that, but they do have clients that are always asking. So two things that, like I said before, if you guys are interested in getting involved, I will be more than happy to explain to you and how to do that. If you don't, then what we offer is a 10% discount, and we help do all the research, and then you take it and mark it up however you want.
Nice.
So yeah, there is a way, because it is a lot of work. I mean, it really is. But again, because I love this industry or the trinkets especially, it's not for me. It's like a big playground. So yeah, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
You know, as you know, Cindi, Classic Exhibits has been a small but a consistent customer of yours for years. And I will say that, yes, it is a lot of work. When we reach out to you and we ask some questions about some new products, and then when you send us some ideas and then we drill down for more of those products, you kind of respond. It takes a lot of time because there's a lot of options. There's a lot of opportunities within there. You send multiple examples and we go back and forth and back and forth. It is definitely a lot of work before you get to a decision point. Yes,
you're right, Mel. And the other part of that reminds me is that when you're in this business, unlike the exhibit side of it, the selling process, again, these are the details part of it, but it's not like you just go and buy one pen like we go and buy one banner stand. Each vendor has a minimum, and I'm sure most of you not selling this or know this, but that's where you have to really pay attention is, you know, like pens, cheap pens, maybe the minimum is 500. A lot of times when you get into some of the custom things that we were showing you guys, that's when they lower their minimal required, because they are bigger pieces. But you know, that is one thing that you have to take into consideration as you start pricing these things out. The other thing is run charges. You know, you get excited, you find a great product, the client loves it, and they send you their artwork, and now it's 2 colors instead of 1. Well, now there's a run charge for those 500 pieces, and it's usually about 55 cents or so. And then the other thing is you have a setup charge, because a lot of their stuff is screen printing and the heat printing and all that. So they got to set all that up, and those are average between $40 and $60. And sometimes if you have two colors, they're going to charge you two of those. So it's very detailed and a lot of information that you have to really know so that you don't lose out. And what we've tried to do is we just take all of those charges, instead of just listing them out, you know, this and this, we just put the whole project together and divide it by the number of pieces that they are purchasing. Because that we've learned that other companies were doing that, so that when they would see us, they'd be like, why do you have all of these setups and run charges and the others don't? But in the bottom line, we were the same. We were disclosing that information.
She's asking about the setup prices. One person's asking if you mark up the setup prices.
No.
Oh, that was a quick answer. Hey, if you guys don't mind, I know, Cindi, you mentioned that some of your clients have promotional products in your warehouse and they're reaching out to you to send them out to clients. Would both of you mind sharing a story or two of what you've seen in the last maybe 30 to 60 days, what clients are reaching out to you for, and what they're using them for, and how they're sending those products to their clients?
Leanne, this is perfect for you.
Well, I mean, I think a change mostly, you know, for clients reaching out to me is more of the PPE product, you know, needing the nice branded masks and things like that as far as new products. The other thing too, and this is something that I try to initiate with my clients as well, is doing some really customized gifts, and because their goal is still to get in front of their clients or to stay connected to their employees, coming up with like work at home things, or really sending gourmet and managing you know, shipments of gourmet items out to their clients and things like that. That's been a lot, because a lot of my exhibit and that type of work has kind of stopped, but most of it is for care packages, and we're customizing boxes, we're like the reusable bags, just finding a different way to build business and build my clients' brand with their customers. So, and I'm really trying to be proactive on reaching out to them, because like Cindi said, we just went to the show. I mean, there's just a plethora of products and really creative things that we haven't been able to share. And I've used that as an opportunity to reach out to my clients and say, we found this, and I think this is a great niche for your vendors or your clients, or, you know, whatever. And I think that's probably been my biggest, is trying to get really creative and different, edgy.
Yeah. And another one, Mel, is we've had our clients call in pertaining to their stock, and have actually taken their pens and notepads, and they are sending them to hospitals for them to replenish their supply.
Wow.
So they've actually been doing that. Yes.
All right. So we're approaching the end. I want to thank you guys both, and want to give you an opportunity to have any final thoughts that you want to share with our audience before we wrap this up.
I have one. When somebody asked what the advantage was to use Cindi for items, I can honestly say, because I was also a client of Cindi's and years ago, is that her the tenure she's had in this industry and the relationships she's had is such an advantage, and the staff that she employs, that also has very strong relationships with the vendors, can pull miracles. I mean, make miracles happen. And I think that's the great thing. Not only their buying power, but the ability to work together and come up with some really creative product offerings that you really don't see, you know, on a daily basis, and offer, you know, the full range of products. And I think that is probably the biggest advantage. It's just the amount of experience not only Cindi, but Jennifer and Gina have in this industry. They have quite a name for themselves.
I'm going to layer on that if I can. I think one of the things that in working with Cindi, as we work with Cindi over the years, is that when things kind of go wrong, and it's not the fault of Cindi, sometimes the vendors just don't really listen. Something didn't go the way we expected it to. Cindi and her team have been super, super responsive as far as finding out a solution, getting it corrected, and getting everything to us in time for the show. And we've been impressed every single time we've worked with Cindi and her team.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. We love working with you guys.
Cindi, any final thoughts?
Did anybody guess any of the things?
Well, a couple internal people classic guessed, and then we also had Michaela got the dip right. So I'll send you that information so you can send her one of those dips. You know what's so funny about that? Cindi and I were talking about that dip, and I said, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then Cindi, of course, corrected me and said that was the single most popular item at the show. So that was a good that was a good lesson on not imposing our own taste on our clients' requests.
And Mel, that goes along with everyone. Cindi and I can go to a show and she looks at me and goes, "You're looking at the stupidest stuff I've ever seen." And I do the same with her, but it ends up when we pull it together, it really, everybody has different taste and needs. And I learn a lot from her from these shows because I look at techie stuff and I shut down. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So you're right. I mean, everything has its place.
All right. Thanks to both of you. We really appreciate this. Was a great webinar. I learned a lot and had a lot of fun. For those of folks who are still on the line, we did record this, and I'll send the recording out in about 24 hours. So you can pass it on to your colleagues or pass it on to your colleagues. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
Thanks, Mel. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Have a great day. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.